What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at some more Worlds Collide Keyforge cards. Frankly, this is a video I've been a little bit excited about doing. Because you see, when Worlds Collide was starting to be shown and talked about and all of that, we were told that stealing was going to take a little bit of a backseat. We were told that stealing was going to be addressed. And the stealing was one of those things that was going to become, let's say, less of a big part of the game. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But the point of the story is that I was expecting, we were all expecting, that in Worlds Collide we would get some cards that either stopped people stealing Aember, or at least made it disadvantageous to do so. Now, we're not overflowing with those cards, but there are 4 of them. That is the focus of this video, and going in order, we can start with Discombobulator, a card we have previously seen. It is an upgrade that gives you an Aember and reads, this creature gains, your Aember cannot be stolen. Cool. It basically means that you pop it on a creature, whatever creature you like, and it stops all of your Aember being stolen. So clearly what you really want is to try and put this on a big old beefy creature, one that is very unlikely to be taken down. Something like a 16 power Gargantodon might be nice, or an 11 power 2 armor Grimlocus Dux. Either will be fine. The point is that you put it on a big beefy creature and all of a sudden your Aember is nice and safe, and it ain't getting stolen. Now, this is only while the upgrade is attached. If your opponent gets rid of the upgrade by destroying the creature, sorry. If your opponent returns a creature to your hand using something like Lights Out, unfortunately the rule with upgrades is that when a creature leaves the field for whatever reason, the upgrade is discarded. So unfortunately a Lights Out put in a creature in your hand would still get rid of this. Or you do just have the odd card, not too many weirdly, but the odd card like Destroy Them All, for instance, which actually just lets you flat out scrap an upgrade. The point is, there are plenty of ways around this. It is a great option, but it's not perfect. Now, speaking of Gargantodon, we're going slightly out of... I said we're going to go in order. I've totally ruined it. Speaking of Gargantodon here, it is a 16 power creature, which is phenomenal, but it does enter play stunned. When you get above 8 power, you end up with a downside. The downside here is you've got to enter play stunned. And you only deal 4 damage while fighting, so please let it be known, there is a fairly fantastical downside here. However, there's a fairly fantastical upside, in addition to the 16 power. Each Aember that would be stolen is captured by a creature controlled by the active player instead. That is, pardon the pun, gigantic. Gargantuan. Instead of your opponent stealing your Aember as the active player, one of their creatures captures the Aember. Now, in terms of stopping you forging a key, it's largely the same thing. If your opponent steals free Aember to put you off check, you're not forging a key. If your opponent captures free Aember to take you off check, you're not forging a key. Incidentally, your opponent does get the choice of which creature they put it on, so it's kind of up to them. However, we can go a little bit further than this, because you see, it's not just about stopping you forging a key, it's also about your opponent gaining Aember. And the thing is, this is what you're getting as an advantage from Gargantodon. Your opponent doesn't get the Aember, they put it on one of their creatures. What happens when that creature gets destroyed? You get the Aember back. So essentially, rather than your opponent keeping your Aember, they still take it away from you, but then you can destroy the creature that's captured it and get it right back. Now, there are some exceptions here. Senator Shrix, lovely Saurian creature we've looked at before. Senator Shrix, you can spend Aember on it as if it were in your pool. So if your opponent sees you play Gargantodon and they've got Senator Shrix, they can just let Senator Shrix capture the Aember and then use it to pay for a key next turn. Of course, you can then destroy Senator Shrix to get it back, but that's not the point. Very nice option. But there are a couple we haven't seen so far. One of them is from the Saurian Republic, Odoac the Patrician. I think I'm lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. I think we might have seen it before. It is a 5-power creature with no armor. When you play it, you capture an Aember, and while it has Aember on it, your Aember cannot be stolen. So it's not a million miles away from Discombobulator. The difference is, instead of being an upgrade you attach to it, it's got to have an Aember on it. So you can still get rid of it by destroying it. You can still play something like Lights Out. But destroy them all, you would actually have to use it to destroy the creature, because there is no upgrade there. Though please remember that destroy them all does allow you to destroy a creature. Does need to be pointed out. I'm not so in love with this, and the reason is extremely simple. It has got to be Odoac. When you're looking at Discombobulator, you can put it onto a random super powerful creature. But Odoac here, it's got to be on Odoac. And what that means is that you've got a 5-power, 0-armor creature, no elusive, etc. that is the key to your Aember not being stolen. So your opponent can just go after Odoac. They can just take it down and then steal your Aember. And most of the time, let's say they want to play a card like Nerve Blast. Okay, but just wait. Incidentally, Nerve Blast is a good example here, because Nerve Blast steals an Aember and then deals 2 damage if you stole an Aember, but all the cards we're talking about in today's video that stop you stealing Aember means that Nerve Blast will in fact literally do nothing. You can still technically play the card, but you don't actually do anything. So you're just discarding it from your hand. Boo! You still get to draw a card in its place at the end of the turn, but let's just say it's not exactly the be-all and end-all. So to go back to Odoac then, I like it, and let's face it, right, it's a Saurian creature. Now when you play, you can capture an Aember, awkward if your opponent has no Aember, of course. Do you keep it in your hand for the next Saurian turn, but then you're clogging up your hand, or do you play it, hoping you can exalt it later? Saurian Republic have an awful lot of options for exalting their creatures. When you exalt a creature, you put an Aember on it from the common pool. Oh, look. So, for instance, the Californian Ideal. When you play it, you exalt the creature, and the creature gains. You may spend Aember on this creature as if it were in your pool. Same as Senator Shrix. So, this would be a really nice option here if you weren't able to capture it when you played it. Or if you were able to capture it, because you'd end up having 2 Aember on it, and you could spend them. But remember, if you spend all of them, you all of a sudden don't actually then have any Aember on. Your Aember can be stolen. But the one that is definitely new, and it is another one of these beautifully designed Untamed cards. Seriously, in terms of creature design, I love Untamed. Molephin. Half mole, half dolphin, but actually clearly a shark, so I'll leave that one up to you. 3 power, 0 armor creature, and it has hazardous 3, which is to say if you want to attack Molephin, you've got to take 3 damage on the attacking creature before anything happens. And this doesn't stop your Aember being stolen. This isn't like the other cards we've seen in this video that literally say your Aember cannot be stolen. But it does say that after Aember is stolen, you deal 1 damage to each enemy creature for each Aember stolen. Let's be clear about this. If your opponent steals 1 Aember with something like a Nerve Blast, you deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. Now, there is one card that is kind of hilarious with this. It's a card from Age of Ascension that is very risky, but it still sees a lot of play, is Swindle. Now, the reason it's risky is because it's the only Alpha and Omega card we've seen. That is to say, it is the only thing you can do. As soon as you've played or discarded a card, or used a card, you're not able to play it. And once you play it, you cannot play, use, discard anything else. It is that part, other than forging a key and drawing until you've got X number of cards in your hand, usually 6, could be different. It is the only thing you're allowed to do. But you steal 3 Aember. Well, if your opponent plays a Swindle when you've got a Molephin on the field, you deal 3 damage to all of your opponent's creatures. Well, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, that is, yeah. That is really awkward. So your opponent, I mean, it's very rare that they're going to go, I'm going to play Swindle. Oh no, I forgot. The reality is they're going to end up discarding Swindled from their hand rather than actually playing it. But if your opponent is discarding a card from their hand that they want to play, believe me, that is a very good thing. Did we end up with a bevy of cards that make stealing but an afterthought? No. No, we didn't. Do we have some nice anti-stealing options? Yes. Yes, we do. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. All these lovely options for stealing Aember. And I kind of like them. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about games, Keyforge, and whatever else we fancy. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would you? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.